Hi folks, and welcome back to Travels with Paddles.
My name's Hannah.
And I'm James, and today is our second day of paddling in the Verdon, and we're going to try and paddle the main canyon. Here's a map of the route, and total distance was 8.3 miles. Thanks for joining us on day 2 of our trip on the Verdon. If you haven't checked it out, I would recommend having a look at day 1 as well. Day 2 is all about the Lake of Sainte Croix and also the lower section of the Grand Canyon. We're launching here from Les Salles sur Verdon, mainly because it gives us a few extra miles to paddle to and from the gorge and gives us a decent round trip length. At the best of times, you can only paddle about 2 kilometers of the Grand Canyon before you reach some marker buoys which show the beginning of the nature reserve which you're not allowed to paddle in. However, as we were paddling late in the summer of 2022, following a 3-month drought in the south of France, there was even less water in the gorge. So as you'll see, we couldn't reach the 2-kilometer limit. In the meantime, let's just enjoy the incredible turquoise lake of Sainte Croix. We were very fortunate, as for a short period of time the wind died down completely while we were paddling, and we managed to get these amazing mirror surface shots. Yep, it's selfie time. This was as close as we got to rock hopping. By now, we're reaching the eastern end of the lake, and you can already make out the cliffs on either side of the Grand Canyon. This is the famous Pont du Galetas, and just a few moments of searching on the internet will show you just how much water is missing. But at last we have reached what we came to see. The Verdon Grand Canyon, and it certainly doesn't disappoint. At this sandbar there was barely enough water to paddle, and with the flow against us, we really had to dig deep to make headway. Some parts of the Grand Canyon are 700 meters deep from cliff top to riverbed. It really is massive scenery and is utterly breathtaking. Another sandbar impedes our progress, but we make it through. This, however, is as far up the gorge as we could reach. The significant flow rate up ahead prevented us from paddling, and the rather soft mud prevented us from getting out the boats and hiking any further. So we turned around and headed back towards the Pont du Galetas. Going with the flow now, it was much easier to get through the shallow sections. In a sense, we were quite fortunate really, because although we couldn't paddle very far up the gorge, we pretty much had it to ourselves. We've seen photos where there are dozens of kayaks and electric boats all crammed into this one section of river. There were a few other intrepid explorers like ourselves though. Passing back under the Pont du Galetas, I would normally be doing some rolls to celebrate. However, there just wasn't the water. Undeterred, I did a few when it got a bit deeper. We were getting quite peckish by now, so we were looking for somewhere to stop for lunch. We found a nice quiet beach at Le Hameau du Pont. And today, it's sweet chili noodles. After lunch, we mounted up again to head back to our launch spot. Interestingly, we'd been warned by the owners of the B&B at which we were staying of the sudden changes in weather and wind that can be experienced on the Lake of Sainte Croix. Those dark clouds up ahead were soon going to bring some rain and some strong gusts of wind, but only for about 10 minutes. Thankfully, this all happened after we'd finished the paddle. In the meantime, the weather was fabulous. It was so hot that Hannah decided to jump out for the last few hundred meters and go for a swim to cool off. Anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this video of day 2. Please do check out day 3. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe on the water.